Hi, my name is Ella. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about what happened last week in court. Let's just do a refresh when it comes to that, okay? Courtroom erupts, judge clashes with defense over misleading in court in Senzo Meyiwa trial. That's what we are going to talk about. Judge Rata saying, you are saying he's lying. Oh my God. Oh my word. So the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial delivered yet another tense and dramatic courtroom moment last week, one that quickly escalated into a confrontation between the bench and the defense. At the center of the clash was seemingly a simple question: how did a lawyer keep appearing in court if the accused claims he never instructed him? Okay, so let me give you a bit of background when it comes to that. George Baloyi, who's a senior state prosecutor, the so-called seasoned prosecutor with plus minus 30 years experience, was asking Bongani Ndanzi questions regarding Mchiako, the so-called lawyer that represented Bongani Ndanzi during his time of arrest from June 2020 to sometime in March 2021. Yes, that's what we are going to break down. So while he was busy with those questions and stuff like that, he comes to ask, what do you mean that you don't know Ndanzi? How come you don't know Mchiako Ndanzi, whereas Mchiako is appearing on court records where he went to appear on your behalf time and again? There was about, I think he counted about 6, if not 9 times, I could be wrong, between 6 and 9 times, yes, where Mchiako appeared on behalf of Ndanzi. Ndanzi maintains that he knows nothing about that because he has no contact with Mchiako. They brought us contact information, call logs, but these call logs are 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second, don't seconds. It's never a real call, do you understand? So now it brings a lot of questions and stuff. But now, what happened in court, that is the little background there. Ndanzi is denying that he has ever made any contact. He has never, according to him, how things were happening. He has never had an interaction with Mchiako regarding instructions and stuff like that. Nor does he know Mchiako that way. So when he questioned Mchiako, how did you come here? How did you know I was here? Mchiako did not give those details. Okay. Now, coming to this situation at hand that we are referring to. Ubaloyi asked now Ndanzi, if Ndanzi says he doesn't know Mchiako, then how did Mchiako end up being at Hlabane to go and represent him in Rustenburg for the so-called case of Rustenburg that was thrown out by the judge that side? Apparently, they allege that they searched. This is so also weird. The arresting officer, Mukhan and Mabena, alleged that they searched Ndanzi's house and found ammunition. They made a case, and then there in Hlabane, it was thrown out because they asked, where is the ammunition? It was nowhere to be found. And then they was like, oh, we're not doing that here, this side. We're not doing that here, this side. It was struck off road, that side. Anywho, so he was attending that case on the 13th of July, sometime in August. I'm not sure if in September also, August, September, October, there were days where he kept appearing. Now, there is this specific one that he went to appear that led to this guy, Ubaloyi, to ask this question. I hope now I'm making sense so that you have a background. Now, the issue arose when the court began, when Baloyi began to examine Ndanzi, or earlier court records from Hlabane involving Bongani Ndanzi, who is accused number 2 in the Meyiwa case. According to that record of Hlabane, attorney Mr. Mchiako appeared in court on the 13th of July 2020 for Bongani Ndanzi. But when Ndanzi was asked about it, his response immediately raised eyebrows. Ubaloyi, that's what he was gunning for to do. He wanted us to be like, what do you mean when he was in court for you? What do you mean he wasn't there? But wait, Ndanzi made sure we understand and clarified. Now, of course, the answer to dumb people that are slow, it triggered the next line of questioning from Baloyi and from the people that were viewers at the time of the observers, because the record did not show just one appearance, right? It showed multiple appearances. The matter was postponed to 3rd August 2020, and again, Mr. Mjeko was recorded as appearing. And then Ubaloyi pressed further. So if the accused did not instruct the lawyer, how did the lawyer know to appear repeatedly? And the question did not stop there. The record also reflected another date, 17 August 2022. The proceedings continued in absentia. The accused was absent due to COVID. Okay, now this is where things got tense, because this created a bigger puzzle. Fine. That's what Ubaloyi was trying to do for all the slow people. If the accused was not, because Umnisi got up and asked the question. If it says, or he said, he objected and said, objection, my lord, because it says here, he said Baloyi must be honest, because Baloyi is not being honest. He's not reading the entire thing as it is, so that Untanzi can make an informed decision with his answer. He says Ubaloyi did not read the full record. Ubaloyi was selective in his reading, to understand. So if there's a part that says 17 August 2022, the proceeding continues in absentia because of the COVID, he was absent due to COVID, then if the accused was not present in court that day, how could he know who appeared on his behalf? He was not there, mostly. So at this point, that's when Umnisi stepped in, and then the tone of the courtroom shifted dramatically, because Umnisi wanted to understand how can Ubaloyi be expecting Untanzi to answer such an unfair question. And the defense was arguing that the state needed to be careful about how it presented the record. They reminded the court that all officers of the court owe a duty of good faith. And they warned that if the court were misled, if even unintentionally, the consequences could affect the court's final decision. But that is when the judge reacted strongly, Gesan. You know how defensive he is for Baloyi because of one specific word, the word misleading. The judge immediately pushed back. He warned that using that term misleading carries a serious implication. In legal terms, saying someone is misleading, the court can sound very close can sound very close to accusing them of deliberately lying. And that the judge suggested it is a serious allegation to make about another officer of the court. And the judge emphasized that there is a critical difference between someone making a mistake and someone intentionally misleading the court. Mistakes do happen. And Umnisi was like, no, my lord, he is intentional with what he is doing. There's no mistake. He is selective with his reading. But the judge was like, accusing someone of misleading the court implies dishonesty. And then the tension the courtroom became shame. From that, we thought that was turns. Well, judge, defense counsel insisted the court needed the full context of the record, not just selected entries. But the judge made it clear that the language used in court matters very much. And this is how selective the judge is also himself, because now he's protecting Baloyi. He says Ubaloyi is being whatever. He is the same judge that says, yes, you need intelligence in that same courtroom. Before he said this, he earlier on said to Ramsipile, you need intelligence. Yet he speaks about intelligence. I mean, about decorum of some sort. Do you understand? So then came a moment that stunned many observers. We were like shocked. Again, it's his style, Richard Rata, we know this, but it will never go unnoticed what he does. During the heated exchange, the defense suggested that when the lawyers argue with the judge, they are sometimes treated differently. And the remark introduced a deeply emotional dimension into an already tense legal confrontation. What began as a technical discussion about court records and suddenly turned into a moment exposing the raw power dynamics in that courtroom of Judge Rathamukwahleng. But beneath the drama lies a critical legal issue. If the court record shows a lawyer appearing multiple times for an accused, yet the accused claims he never instructed that lawyer, it raises serious questions. Was someone else instructing the lawyer? Was the lawyer appearing without proper instructions, or is the record being interpreted incorrectly? These are not small questions, because in a criminal trial, credibility is everything. Now, this, for me, Ubaloyi was trying to get Untans into a situation where he looks uncredible, to understand, because he wanted contradictions between witness testimony and official court records to become extremely damaging. That's what he was gunning for. That is why the moment matters far beyond the courtroom exchange itself, because something is wrong with Baloyi being selective and not treating things as they are. It is part of a much bigger battle unfolding in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, a battle over truth, credibility, and the reliability of the evidence presented in court. And every time he tries that and the defense catches on, they get angry, including the judge. And as the trial continues, moments like that show just how fragile the balance inside the courtroom can be, because sometimes one word can ignite an entire courtroom. And Judge Ratha is always found in the middle of it all. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I believe Mnisi did right by telling the judge, you are always defending the state. I think he did right. And he said, I don't even know why. And I think he was right for telling Baloyi, you are selective and you are misleading the court. What are your thoughts? I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.